Hello again, guys. Here we finally came to the regular set of Olympus szx12 microscope, and it's Olympus DF Plapo 1x PF objective with a working distance of 72 millimeters. This exactly objective, which is very well made, has, as most of such objectives have, some huge issues with centering and alignment, and this is caused by some, we could say, initial issues with design. So most all such objectives don't work properly as they should. In this case, I made some actions here, and finally this objective turns to have 100% resolution as it should. And exactly this one has a protective glass in front of it, attached with a nice silicone, so this one won't get scratched in any case. If the protective glass is scratched, you can easily replace it, because nice quality filter costs kind of $30, $40, $50 only, while proper objective costs beginning from 700 and up to don't know how much. Okay, so we have our regular objective that was tweaked and aligned with my skills. And let's see a bit at the microscope zoom pad for a while. It has a huge objectives here, and microscope is very high quality device with iris dial here, and it has trinocular head that turns to 50-50 mode when it's on, and when it's off, all light from the zoom module goes to eyepieces. And exactly this set, this trinocular head also has some changes when those horns can be lifted to the uppermost position, while normal position is this lower one. So don't know who would need it, but taking in consideration that Nikon has such options for their trinocular heads, I finally managed to make this head working properly when limiter is turned off. And due to situation I have no C-mount camera, I won't show you how trinocular port works, but you need to believe me, it works. Okay, so let me install the objective and try to see how things work here. Okay, so objective is screwed in, and we can check the working distance here. It should be 72 millimeters, and I see, we could say even 73, but technically, no, it's 72 exactly as it described. So, and for a while, let's check some information. I already have shown this information in my previous video, but for this case, let's check some common data from this microscope. So, with this regular objective with working distance of 72 millimeters, the height between the space for objects and the beginning of eyepiece is 36 centimeters, and we use this best in business VHSZ10 eyepiece for the right channel, and for the left channel I use other eyepiece szx12 to get a real resolution, because camera doesn't want to show me real resolution with 10x eyepiece, while our eyes can easily spot when it's reached the end. So when we turn this how to say path to the top position, distance gets a bit higher as it should, and now it goes to be 42 centimeters. Pretty high. I don't know why people would use this, but technically I gave this possibility to my customer. So now let's attach our fiber optic ring and see how this microscope works. As I have told already, with other objectives we can lift ring a bit upper the lower end. Technically it's kind of 3 millimeters. When we lift it upper, part of objective is obstructing the light rays in the center, but having lifted it only for 2 millimeters or 3, we will have proper field of well lit space, and light ring won't is a bit upper than lower end of the objective. So technically it's a bit different from green system, where light rings always go down kind of 10 millimeters over lowest position. It's just for you to measure height. Okay, now let's measure the field of view for the regular objective in lowest magnification. And this field of view goes to be 33 millimeters. Just pretty big field of view. And when we make magnification highest, field of view turns to be 5 millimeters. So we just know 33 millimeters to 5 millimeters. This is field of view, this nice microscope with 10x eyepieces. Now let's walk a bit over the iPhone 7s motherboard and see how it looks through the microscope in all magnification range. So let's do it. I need to adjust height of the motherboard because it is 3 millimeters high or even more. So I need to move a bit the height of microscope to reach those parts. So let me make it here. And now we can walk over the iPhone's motherboard. It is the lowest magnification here, and our regular objective that is set mostly with this microscope. You can see 33 millimeters, it's not that big field, but not that small too. Now let's try to zoom in a bit. As usual in case of other microscopes, all field of view has a similar plane sharp focus, kind of that. Now we can zoom in and out. You will see that focus is not lost. With my phone it's getting lost, but technically it stays intact when you watch with your eyes. Here's maximum magnification, 90 times. So you won't see real resolution with this eyepiece, but you can see at least this difference in sharpness between layers the microscope is snapped in and background. And as always, let me show you how iris dial works here. We have got our iris. So let's see how it works. So when I close iris, we can see that sharpness is getting worse, but sharpness is more uniform from upper and lower places, lower layers. But to see since with real resolution, we need to use our other eyepiece. So let's do it. I am now turning to our 30 times eyepiece. It's our left channel. So let's look at the same place now. But now we can see how resolution is changed, not only field of view. So let's see. My hands are shaking for some reason, don't know why, but let's see. When I close iris, you can clearly see these details on our left part of the frame are lost a lot, but with this small amount of details we see the same amount on the background. So again, look at the left part of this bright copper thin. Again, this copper thin is in focus, now it's out of focus, now the background in the focus, and you can see that technically when it's in focus or out focus, not much things change. Now I'm opening the iris and you can compare situation now. Focus for the upper part, lower, and its background. So technically iris is nice only when you get to the lowest magnification. And then if you have astigmatism on your eyes, you can see some usage of closing the iris. With middle or maximum magnification, you will only lose resolution and nothing more. Okay, so let's see, might be a bit of... let's turn back to ordinary eyepiece. And we can see connectors here, because some people asked me to show them connectors, so let's see them. And again, you can see real resolution for this microscope with my phone and 10x eyepieces. Let me make a photo of it. So to see real resolution, we need to switch to 30 times eyepiece, and only now you can see what really this microscope does to have nice resolution. To be frank, I don't see much, but let's move a bit over the space. What have we got in here? Let's move, might be to some other place. Might be this would be interesting to watch for a while. Again, let's go to the maximum magnification. And I'm turning magnification to 90. Still not 90, still 30. We can try to compare thin parts here. So we have a base of the motherboard and some parts on it. let's look at some other parts now. Oh, don't know what that is, but it looks pretty interesting for me as a person who has no connection with iPhone, with phone fixing. Again, we can see parts here. We can see depth of view, and let's go to the our 90 times magnification. Okay, let's see this part, and we can turn to that huge one just for you to know how it surface looks. So let's try to see it. What is that? Oh, I see a lot of such little, how to name these little spots, don't know. Okay, and now we need to go to our more attractive thing, that is Apple a13 processor. So let's go there. We have our processor here. It's Apple a13, kind of that. Let me check what part to look at. I found it. Okay, so it's more interesting part because such resolutive microscope is mostly suitable for such high precision actions as restoring processors. So let's see how it works. Okay, I need to make focus initially. It's done. We can move a bit over the space here just to see what we have. And again, when I use 10 times eyepiece, my phone can show you real resolution of the microscope. So after this little walk, we'll turn to proper eyepiece to see what really this microscope with objective does. So let's return to our place, and I'm switching to my other eyepiece. Okay, it's our 30 times eyepiece, so now we can see real resolution, the same as we see with our naked eyes with this microscope. And you can notice when I change focus, now I see different layers inside the processor. I need to make some photos of that. And let's move backward to see those parts, photos of them. And now let's walk a bit over the processor. Yes, so it's our 1 hour part. It's some kind of burn pin. Don't know how could it burn, how could it get burned, but it's burned somehow. Okay, let's move a bit farther. What else have we gotten? Don't know. Let's decrease magnification for a while to find interesting spots. Maybe these spots. Ah, yes. I ordered Maxim from Kherson when I was getting this processor to tear off some pins. So he kindly tore off some pins on this processor for me. And you can see how badly those pins were torn. Okay, so let's walk a bit farther over chip. We see those narrow lines. Let's see what we got here with those narrow lines. Technically, resolution of this microscope with this objective is at least 35% higher than SMZ-U with its regular objective. So if you even have no more objectives, this microscope gives you 25% up in resolution. So it's pretty huge amount of increase in resolution here. So we are just slowly walking over the chip, trying to get something interesting here. And maybe some of you will find information he needs looking at the space. Okay, let's move a bit farther. Or maybe this pretty narrow lines would have somebody interested. And again, we can see the different layers have different height and sharpness changes. Now sharpness is for upper layer, now it's a bit for lower. Okay, let's make last move over the processor here, or maybe this place is noticeably well torn. Let's see it. And by the way, you can obviously see that all the frame has nice and equal sharpness here. Left, right, the only thing noticeable is a little of chromatic aberration, but we can't do anything with this. Okay, so we walked a bit. Let me make some more pictures here for my post on it. Oh, that is my favorite place on this processor. I need to make another photo here. And now let's get to our last contestant, our Intel i1386 processor that has some very distinctive place that let us see a real resolution on the brick. On a brick, I want to say, not brick, definitely. Okay. So, again, I need to adjust change of height here. So, it's our 10 times eyepiece, so we won't see real resolution on the screen now. So let's get to our 30 times eyepiece, and now we can try to see our fine structure in the center, a bit upper than center. It's a fine structure of this processor with a lot of, how to say properly, conductor lines, and we can see that those conductor lines are very easily split now. And by the way, we can say that all dots on a picture are perfectly pinpoint when focus is sharp. That means the objective is properly aligned. Okay, so nothing more interesting here. So let's get back now, and here we watched how regular objective with szx12 Olympus microscope works. And last thing I want to show you again. Now I'm trying to activate trinocular port and deactivate. And as I already have said, when port is activated, 50% of light goes to the port, while other 50 still goes to eyepieces. So technically it's not that huge decrease of brightness as of a SMZU splitter. Again, it's totally open, it's 50%. So it's more convenient for those who want to use cameras. Okay, nice. So we have seen this very cool microscope with its regular objective. So the last thing we have left here is Olympus DF Plan 1.5x objective. We'll try to see how it works, and it will be our most strong magnification so far. Okay, bye bye so everybody.